Hi everybody, welcome back. So today's video was a suggestion from a viewer and they wanted me to talk about the 4 different subtypes of autumn as classified by the House of Colour system. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. I'm going to talk about the 4 different subtypes and the differences between them, types of colours and makeup and clothing, etc. that is kind of recommended for these 4 different subtypes. I need to start off with a bit of a disclaimer though. I am not a House of Colour consultant, I am a client and I'm a fairly new client as well. So I had my colour analysis appointment a few days before Christmas and then I had my style one in February and we are in March at the moment, so I am only 3 months into this journey, so I'm very new to this as well. I'm still learning lots along the way, so by no means am I saying that I am the fountain of knowledge when it comes to House of Colour and autumns and all the information, but I do just want to share the information that I have picked up along the way so far. So hopefully if you're an autumn and you're just sort of like starting out on your journey, hopefully this is going to help you as well. So yeah, just want to say I'm not an expert, so if I have missed anything out in this video, if there is anything that I possibly should have said and I didn't, please do let me know in the comments down below what other information people need to be aware of if they are an autumn. So just a bit of information about House of Colour. So it is a British company and it's been around since the 1970s or 1980s I think, and the purpose is to help people identify what their colour season is and also things about what your style personality is as well. But for the purposes of today's video, this is only going to be about colour analysis and not style. So House of Colour is based on the kind of theory, I suppose, that everybody sits within one of the 4 seasons, and these seasons are spring, summer, autumn and winter. So I had my colour analysis right before Christmas, and when you turn up to your appointment you should turn up completely au naturel, so that means no makeup and no fake tan as well. And during your appointment they scrape back your hair, they put on this kind of like white cloth over your hair as well, and then they proceed to drape you in different colours of fabric drapes. So first of all, what they're trying to do is ascertain whether you are cool or warm. So they will drape on you, say, a cool orange and then a warm orange, a cool green, a warm green, and they layer lots of colours up and they'll sort of see what happens to your face. So do your eyes become more vibrant, more bright? Do certain colours or certain tones highlight any redness or make you look a little bit sallow? What does it do to your sort of nose and around your mouth? And then they will quickly kind of take away the drapes as well, and then you can quickly see what happens to your skin when you go from a cool to a warm, cool to a warm. So after that process they will figure out whether you are cool toned or warm toned. If you are cool toned, you are either a summer or a winter, or if you are warm toned, you are either a spring or an autumn. In my case, I was warm, so I was either a spring or an autumn. So then the next step in my colour appointment was to work out whether I am more bright, so whether I am a spring, or whether I'm more muted, which is an autumn. So my stylist, my colour consultant, put on a spring yellow, and then an autumn yellow, a spring pink, then an autumn pink, etc, etc, and then determined what happened again to my face and which colours were possibly competing for the attention. Did we see the drapes before we saw me, or was everything kind of working in harmony? And then by the end of that process my consultant determined that I am in fact an autumn. So that is why in today's video I'm going to be talking about the autumn family, the autumn season, and then the 4 subtypes that come underneath autumn. So each season, so spring, summer, autumn and winter, they all have 4 subtypes. So this is possibly where this differs to other colour season analysis systems that are out there. You can get a 12 season one, you can get a 16 season one as well. So the House of Colour one is a 16 season one because you have your 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, and then each 4 are further divided into 4 sub-seasons as well. So in total that will be 16. So I'm going to now talk about what those 4 sub-seasons of autumn are, and we're going to start off with the lightest of the 4, which is your soft autumn. So this is the softest and the lightest out of the 4 sub-seasons of autumn. So this will be the least saturated, the most muted colours in the colour season of autumn. And this season sort of borders summer, so the colours kind of like lean into summer in a way where they are quite muted, where they are very light. They do border summer and lean into summer a little bit. So somebody who is a soft autumn might be initially mistaken for a summer. So typically they might have ashy tones in their hair, they might have very light coloured eyes, and it would be quite easy to mistake them for being a summer. But they are not. They do have some warmth behind them, they do have some earthiness behind them, so they are in fact an autumn, but they are the lightest sub-season of the autumn family. So the colours that would best suit people who are a soft autumn would be the least saturated and the lightest, the softest colours within the autumn palette. So when you go to your colour analysis appointment, you get given a colour fan that contains 36 shades of autumn. You aren't limited to those 36 shades, but those 36 shades represent a lot of the autumn colours. So when you are kind of colour matching your clothes or your makeup, don't get so like caught up in completely matching the colour on the fan. Just look at harmony. But for the purposes of today's video, I'm going to talk about the exact colours on the colour fan that would best suit each of the 4 subseasons. So for soft autumn, like I say, these are going to be the lightest and the most muted, the least saturated autumn colours. So these would be rosewood, camel, coffee, khaki, light olive and old gold. But it would also include colours as well like a sage green, lizard grey, which is the only grey that autumns have. This has some yellow behind it, and also our version of white, which is oyster white. So it is a warm white, but it's not a bright white like spring's would be. It is a muted warm white. So I found this brilliant post on Instagram from one of the House of Colour consultants in America. So Ashley Shyrock, and she's the House of Colour consultant in Columbia and Mid-Missouri. And this post shows the 4 different sub-seasons of autumn. She has done it for the other 4 seasons as well. And in the picture, she's shown the drapes, the colour drapes, and also examples of the makeup as well. So I'll put a picture of that up on the screen. Go and check that post out if you are interested as well. Also, if you're maybe like a winter, summer and spring as well, go and check those posts out, because it's a brilliant depiction of examples of the colours and the makeup as well. And in that post she suggested a couple of makeup shades. So gloss number 66, which is actually the gloss that I have on today, which is this one here. This is warm apricot. So you can see that it is very warm, but it's also light. It's not really vibrant, it's not really saturated, it's a very light colour, but it adds some warmth to your complexion. So if you are a soft autumn, gloss number 66 would be a good option to go for. And in general, your makeup, ideally to best complement you, would be very soft. So very soft, light, warm colours of makeup, nothing too vibrant, nothing too heavy. Speaking of the House of Colour makeup, by the way, I've laid it all out behind me on my dressing table for this video. I have 8 lipsticks, 1 liquid lip, 3 lip liners and 4 lip glosses. So I've got quite a bit of House of Colour autumn makeup. It's all brilliant, by the way, would thoroughly recommend all of it, and it's so nice to have that kind of comfort knowing that these makeup shades are going to best suit you. So yeah, this is number 66 that I have on today. Okay, moving into the second sub-season of autumn. This is my sub-season. This is leaf autumn, or autumn leaf, and you might have heard of this sub-season in other colour analysis systems as being called the true autumn. So the colours for this category are very much those typical colours that you see in autumn. So it's very warm browns that you see on trees, the vibrant orange, red skulls that you see in the leaves as well, the mustard yellow in the fields, the moss greens of the grass as well. So very stereotypical shades that you would think of when you try to picture a typical autumn scene. So these colours are the warmest colours of the autumn palette. So where soft autumn and the 2 other autumn shades that I'm going to talk about as well border another season, leaf autumn doesn't. We are the warmest colours within the autumn palette. So somebody who is an autumn leaf would typically look autumn in their appearance. So typically they would have reddish tones in their hair. So I am a dark blonde and I do actually have quite a bit of red in my hair. My dad's side of the family have quite a bit of red in their hair as well. I've got a cousin who's a redhead, another cousin and an aunt who have quite a lot of red behind their blonde as well. And in certain lights my hair can sometimes look a little bit ginger, a little bit aubany. So yes, you would have typically some red behind your hair. Your eyes would be like a light warm brown. They would be a green. My eyes are a green. They're a little bit like a bluey green, but they are more green than blue. And you would as well possibly have light fair Celtic skin. So I feel like I very much look like that typical autumn leaf. However, this is just a stereotypical depiction of what an autumn leaf would look like. Obviously people of colour would be autumns as well, so they obviously wouldn't have Celtic skin, but this is just an example. So as I said, the colours for autumn leaves are the warmest colours within the autumn spectrum, so they're not too muted and they're not too vibrant. They're in that really kind of sweet spot in the middle of just being really warm and rich and earthy. So the best colours that would suit an autumn leaf, so this sort of might be this side or this side, I'm not really too sure where I'm putting it, but this is a picture from House of Colour showing like the best colours to suit all of the 4 sub-seasons of autumn. So for autumn leaf, the best colours that are going to suit us are brick, rust, moss green, amber, mustard yellow and bronze, but also colours such as camel. So kind of like this top that I've got on today. So I feel like this is a very harmonious top for me, especially with my makeup and my gold jewellery as well. So I feel like I'm very much depicting an autumn leaf today. And also mid-browns as well. So in terms of makeup, warm neutral shades of eyeshadows and lip colours would look best on us, and that is very much true for me. I don't like to go for really bright, bold, out there makeup looks. I very much like a makeup look like what I have on today. So it is warm, but it is fairly kind of neutral slash natural makeup. I've got like a warm goldy brown eye going on and then a warm soft apricot lip, so quite a neutral makeup look. So back to Ashley's Instagram post, the lip glosses that were suggested were shades 54 and 55. I, out of the two, only have 55, which is the rust shade. I haven't actually tried this one yet. I do have some rust lipsticks that I've tried, but I've not yet tried the gloss. And I didn't actually pick up 54 because that's copper, and that one just didn't call to me as much as the other shades do, so I don't currently have that one. The 3 liquid lips were suggested as well. 110, which is the one that I have here. This is a very wearable everyday type of shade. It's a warm, muted pink brown. Now as autumns we don't get a lot of pinks, but this is a lovely way to incorporate a little bit of pink within your makeup look without having a very vibrant, garish type of pink. So where this is very muted and very warm and earthy, this is a very natural looking pink on us. So this one was recommended. And then the other 2 liquid lip shades that were suggested were 114 and 124. I don't own either of those 2. I personally just wanted to see how I got on with this one first. I might at some point add those 2 into my collection to have a couple of other different autumn lip shades to work on, but all 3 autumn liquid lip shades that House of Colour do provide are recommended for autumn leaves. In that post, Ashley doesn't suggest any lipsticks for autumn leaves, but I just want to talk about my 4 personal favourites. So we have 3 points of red as autumns. We have a warm red, rust and coral. So I have a lipstick shade in each of the 3 points of red, and then I've also got a neutral shade, an everyday shade that I love to wear. So my red would be number 12, L12 Brick. This is quite a bright, warm red. I don't tend to wear this one that often because I don't have too much in the way of warm red clothing, but when I do wear warm red clothing, I will pair it with this lipstick. My coral is L709. This is soft, smooth coral. This is one that I think I'm going to wear a lot more in the spring and the summer months. L5 is my rust. This was the one that I wore for the second half of my colour analysis appointment. Love this one. It's much more of, in my opinion, a wearable red because it has that kind of like muted brownness behind it compared to the brightness of the warm red shade. And then a noticeable mention, one that I wear the most out of all of my lipsticks because I am a neutral brown type of girl. This is 706 Autumn Nude. Lovely, slightly pinky brown. I do also own Soft Amber, but that one has more of like an orangeness behind it, so I do prefer this one over Soft Amber. Soft Amber I do really like, but I tend to kind of associate that one more with like pure autumn months, whereas this one would be more of a year-round one. Okay, moving on to the third subseason of autumn. This is the Vibrant Autumn subseason. So like the name suggests, the colours associated with this subseason are the most vibrant colours of the autumn palette. These are the brightest colours. And this subseason is closest to spring, so the colours kind of like lean into the spring season a bit. But if you were to compare the colours of spring compared to the colours of the Vibrant Autumn, the Vibrant Autumn colours have more kind of depth and more warmth and richness behind it compared to the brightness of the spring colours. So somebody who is a Vibrant Autumn can look like a spring, so you could look at somebody and go, oh, I think you might be a spring, but it turns out they are a Vibrant Autumn because they have that bit more kind of like warmth and richness behind them. And if you were to compare Vibrant Autumns to the three other subseasons of autumns, Vibrant Autumns would look a lot more brighter in comparison to other autumns. So if you were to compare myself to a Vibrant Autumn, they would look a lot more vibrant, a lot more colourful, a lot brighter, whereas I would look a bit more richer, a bit more earthier. So the best colours recommended for Vibrant Autumns are, of course, the brightest, most vibrant colours in the autumn palette. So this would be geranium, grass green, orange, lime, saffron, royal purple and kingfisher. But it would also include as well tomato-based reds and the brightest golden browns as well. And the three glosses suggested for Vibrant Autumns are 54, 55 and 86. I don't have 54. 55 is the rust shade that I mentioned, and then 86 is the warm red, and this one I'm pretty sure is called Paprika. I have tried this one and it is very much a bright warm red, so it would look absolutely stunning on a Vibrant Autumn. And then the two liquid lipsticks that are suggested for Vibrant Autumns are 114 and 124, which are the two ones that I don't have. These are Melon Punch and Tuscan Sun. Now I follow a lot of House of Colour autumn consultants. I don't think I have found yet a soft autumn consultant or a leaf autumn consultant, but for the Vibrant Autumns there is a consultant from, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correct because it's American, Shoe City. Please let me know if I said that wrong. And her name is Amber Skipper, so she is a Vibrant Autumn and she posts a lot on her Instagram, so if you're an autumn or in fact a Vibrant Autumn, go and give her a follow. And then the fourth and final subseason of autumn is the darkest of them all. This is the Blue Autumn. So Blue Autumn is the deepest, darkest, least warm shades of autumn. So this subseason borders into winter, so somebody who is a Blue Autumn could in fact look like they are a winter. So from what I have noticed, being, you know, part of this House of Colour experience over the past few months, is that if somebody has high contrast, so they have very light skin but very dark brown hair, possibly black hair, it is easy to look at them and go, well, you might be a winter, or are you in fact an autumn? So that is what somebody would stereotypically look like if they were a Blue Autumn. It's not always the case, but they do look like they could be a winter, but they are not. They're a Blue Autumn because they have that kind of like warmth behind them. But they wouldn't be as warm as somebody like myself who is that very warm leaf autumn. So somebody who is a Blue Autumn would have very high contrast and they would look a lot darker in comparison to somebody like myself or a soft autumn. They would have quite a lot of like high contrast as well. So I have, I suppose, like medium contrast. Somebody who's soft autumn would possibly have low contrast, whereas a Blue Autumn would have that high contrast between the colour of their hair and their eyes and their skin. So the colours suggested for Blue Autumn therefore are going to be your darkest, deepest, least warm colours within the autumn palette, and are typically lots of the blues. And yes, as autumns, we do have blues within our colour spectrum, which did amaze me at my appointment because I never wear blue, but now I know the right types of blues to go for. So the colours suggested for Blue Autumns then are dark brown. This is the darkest of our colours, so this is our version of black. Dark olive, royal purple, marine navy, which is our version of navy. Navy typically is very, very close to black. It's a very cool toned blue, whereas our navy, the marine navy, is that bit lighter, but it's more muted and it's warm, and it's a very difficult colour to come across. Also kingfisher, forest green and peacock. And one of the glosses suggested was number 72, which is the coral shade. So it's nice to get a bit of contrast for the blue autumn. So where a lot of the suggested colours are those blues, it's nice to get a bit of contrast in there with colours such as possibly geranium, lime or a coral. So a coral lip would be a good option for blue autumns. And there is a House of Colour consultant again in the US who is a blue autumn. She is in Fort Wayne and her name is Abby Nagel, I think I'm pronouncing that right. And again, like with Amber for the Vibrant Autumns, Abby posts a lot of content on Instagram. There are so many consultants that post a lot on places like Instagram. They are a wealth of information. I follow so many autumn consultants and it's been really, really useful to sort of see the colour suggestions, the outfit combinations as well, recommendations of clothes in different stores, makeup suggestions as well. So I would definitely recommend to go out there and follow as many of them as you possibly can. So those were the 4 sub-seasons of autumn as part of the House of Colour analysis system. So hopefully you have found this interesting if you yourself are an autumn, or if you're thinking about having a colour analysis appointment. Hopefully this has, you know, been useful to listen to as well. Like I said at the beginning, I am not a consultant, I'm a client. I've only been a client for about 3 months now, so I'm still learning lots along the way. So if I have missed out anything that I should have said, please do drop me a comment down below so people can learn from this as well. If you're an autumn as well and you have any sort of like makeup suggestions, clothes suggestions, anything at all like that, also leave me a comment. And as well, if you are not an autumn, if you're one of the other seasons and you've watched this video, thank you very much, because I know it's very niche, but leave me a comment down below and let me know like your suggestions and tips as part of this colour journey. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did and you found it interesting, you found it useful, please do give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe if you haven't as well, because I do sometimes post a lot of like colour and style content as well, and I'm hoping to post more about it as well as my journey continues. So if you would like to subscribe, I would love it if you would do so. Have a lovely rest of your day, everybody, and I will see you again very soon for my next one. Bye.